Hello and welcome to my storytelling channel. Today I will be sharing with you tips and tricks that might help you become a better interviewee and hopefully land you the job of your dreams. As somebody who's aced a couple of interviews and taught several people how to become better at interviewing, I can teach you a few things on how to become better at interviewing. And one of the most important skills you can bring to an interview is storytelling. Storytelling can help you become a better interviewee for a couple of reasons. One is that on your CV and cover letter, you can make claims, but you don't have a lot of room for you to provide evidence and context. By using storytelling in your interview, you can provide context and evidence for the things that you said in your CV. For example, if you say, I was able to lead a sales team and become the best sales team in the organization, that is a very bold claim to make. And by sharing a story of how you are able to do that or specific incidences that helped you become that good, then the interviewers have better understanding and context of your skills. For example, things like leadership, motivating the team, or just your resilience on the job. And this helps you present better at an interview. Secondly, storytelling helps you engage the interviewers better. Often you're walking into a room full of strangers and you don't have a lot of time for you to chat and sort of create that connection. But by sharing your stories, you can share emotional and personal details about yourself that help the people listening to you connect to you better emotionally. If you look at the storytelling tips I shared here, you can learn more about how you can use your stories to connect to people more emotionally and get your audience more engaged. Lastly, storytelling makes you more memorable. If you share an actual story instead of just going through the motions and stating adjectives that probably everybody else in the interview is using, then you're going to stand out. Once the interviewers start going through the applications and people they've interviewed, they can use your story to reference you. They might forget your name, they might forget your qualifications and everything about you, but if you share a good story, they will most likely remember it, and it can help you stand out and probably even get invited for the job or a second interview. Once you understand how storytelling might help you at an interview, you might ask yourself, what do I need to become a better storyteller at interviews? Well, I got you. The first thing you need to do is prepare a couple of stories you might use at different interviews. Think about your professional and personal experiences, break it down into moments and incidences that present you in a positive light, and then now try to see how you can match those to different interview questions. And then try to see how these stories might play out for different contexts and when you're interviewing for different jobs. If you're interested in learning more about how to use your stories, I usually offer one-on-one coaching, and you can hit me up on the email that is in the description box below, and I can help you more on how to clarify and group your stories for different settings. The second thing you need to do at interviews when sharing your personal stories is share stories that are detailed but keep them brief. You want to share details that will help you communicate your point and present yourself in a good light, but you also don't want to be speaking for long. So when you're practicing, when you're preparing, try to make sure that all your stories or all your responses are below 3 minutes. If you can, aim for 2 minutes. That is around the sweet spot where you have enough time to sort of communicate your message, but also wrap it up really nicely. The last thing you need to remember when sharing stories at an interview is that you need to make it personal and honest, but keep your private life private, or keep the private details of your experiences private. At the end of the day, you're meeting a group of strangers. As much as you want to connect with them, you don't want to share private details or even embarrass yourself or share some cringeworthy details. So in the preparation process, again, go through your stories and decide what is personal, what are you okay sharing with a group of strangers, and what is private you would like to keep to yourself. And then now create a story that is very personal to you, that is very truthful. Do not make up or exaggerate stories. Just keep it as honest and authentic as possible, and the people you're talking to will connect to you. Now that you have an understanding of how storytelling can help you at interviews, I would like to share with you actual questions asked in interviews, answer those questions with you, and share with you tips on how you can apply storytelling in a real situation. I have 3 videos prepared for you, so please check out the next video in the series. Turn on the notifications button, hit the subscribe button so you're notified when I share those videos. Until tomorrow, bye-bye.